What's up, my comic comrades? Today we're concluding the Maestro miniseries with issues 4 and 5, meaning we're finally going to see how the Hulk ultimately became the Maestro. If you haven't read issues 1 through 3 for yourself or watched our videos on those issues, you could do so right here. But now it's time to see how the Maestro Hulk's origin concludes. Issue 4 picks up right where issue 3 of Maestro left off, with the Hulk trying to convince Dystopia to follow him by threatening them with his war dogs, which are giant robotic dogs that he built which look like something out of a Michael Bay Transformers movie. In any case, the Hulk even tells the people, "I warned you, I gave you all a chance, but you decided to ignore me, snub me, walk away from me. Fine, now you get to run," as the dogs of war start attacking the people of Dystopia. And just as the Hulk sicks one of his war dogs on them, the Maestro or Hercules shows up saying no, while saving one of his people from the jaws of a war dog. Hercules then proceeds to rip off one of the war dog's heads while looking up at the Hulk saying, "Tell me, Banner, is this truly the best you can do? I have thought better of you. It is tragic to discover that I overestimated you. Come, Banner, impress me. Give me your best shot." All while Hercules continues to destroy Hulk's war dogs. Hulk, now more infuriated than ever, leaps towards Hercules saying, "You want it? You got it," trying to land a Superman punch. But on the next page, we see the Hulk is in shock saying, "Huh?" We learn that's because Hercules just caught the punch with his bare hand, saying, "Was that supposed to impress me?" He then throws the Hulk in the air saying, "This is a disappointment." But it appears I must express it in a more demonstrative manner, as he grabs the Hulk by his big toe and then proceeds to slam him back and forth before throwing him to the side saying, "Puny Banner." Now we have to pause right here because this is 100% an homage to what the Hulk did to Loki at the end of the first Avengers movie, where he grabbed him by the leg and then slammed him back and forth before ultimately saying, "Puny God." They even went so far to insert a panel where Hercules pauses for a second while holding the Hulk by the foot, just like the Hulk did to Loki in the Avengers movie. Then of course, instead of Hercules saying "Puny God," he said "Puny Banner." This is a very pleasant surprise, I must say. Great homage. Anyway, a few seconds later, Hulk gets back up and tackles Hercules, getting on top of him saying, "I'll kill you. I'll freaking kill you." Hercules then tells the Hulk, "Do you know how many people have made that threat? How many titans, monsters, demons over thousands of years? But guess what, Banner? I'm still here." As he blocks and grabs Hulk's fists, continuing to say, "They're threats, nothing but barely remembered echoes in my ears. And I'm still here." Hercules then rises to his feet while crushing Hulk's hands, bringing him to his knees, saying, "Their bodies long ago reduced to forgotten dust, and I'm still here. And in 500 years, when your body is departed and your memory forgotten, I will still be here." As he lifts the Hulk off the ground and then slams him on the concrete. He then kicks the Hulk, saying, "When you were mindless, this would have not stopped you. It would have simply enraged you, made you stronger. Because the madder you got, the more powerful you became. But that isn't you anymore, is it? Banner's brain is in control. Banner understands how overpowered he is. Banner knows when he's outmatched. Banner knows he cannot fight, not against the might of the Maestro, as he continues to lay blows into Hulk. Hercules then tells the Hulk, "I'm not enjoying this, Banner. It's ceased to be fun for me. Surrender. Surrender before I kill you," as he continues to lay blows into the Hulk, punching him deeper into the concrete, at which point the Hulk finally says, "I give up." Happy? Hercules then stops and offers the Hulk a hand up, saying, "More relieved actually. I truly did not wish to kill you. Stand, Banner. Stand and embrace me." Hercules then picks him up and hugs Hulk while the Hulk says, "Yeah, okay, this is getting weird now." Hercules then says, "Come with me to my palace and drown yourself in good food and female companionship." But the Hulk declines, saying, "I insulted and attacked your subjects. I must make amends. I'll return at some point in the future when I can sufficiently do so." Elsewhere, Rick Jones tells the Cord, "It's not going to end well. Did I ever tell you about Bruce's past? He was abused as a kid by his father. Bruce Banner, the guy I met, the one who saved my life, he was just one splintered personality. The guy who was here earlier, that's the real Bruce." He basically makes the point that this selfless guy who nearly killed himself to rescue him all those years ago was not the man who was here earlier. But the Bruce that was there wouldn't give up. He would scheme and eventually think of a plot, and he would win. It might take some time, but sooner or later, he'll come back. And trust me, Hercules is gonna die. Telling them this, and us the reader, that the Hulk only surrendered so he could figure out a plan on how to beat Hercules. And Rick is saying all this while wearing Scarlet Spider's hoodie. Yeah, don't think I didn't catch that. The Scarlet Spider is one of my favorite Spider-Men, so it's awesome that Rick is wearing his blue hoodie. The comic then jumps to an unknown amount of time, but at least several months into the future. And we see that the Hulk has returned to Hercules' palace, accompanied by a woman wearing a cloak. The Hulk then asks if the Maestro was available and that he brought some company. They tell him indeed, and when Hercules arrives, he says, "Banner, it's been quite some time." Hulk then says, "Yes, I had some adventures, got my neck broken at some point, so that put me out for a while." But Hercules then responds, "Yes, I'm sure. "And who is your associate?" He says, "This is Anne Darnell." Anne then says, "Bruce has told me so much about you," as she takes off her cloak, standing there in nothing but her underwear, while saying, "I'm very anxious to make your acquaintance, Maestro." Meaning she's there to do the no pants dance with the Maestro. Hercules then looks at her saying, "Well, unarmed I see. Good choice of wardrobe." Hercules then escorts Anne to his chambers and tells the Hulk, "Feel free to entertain yourself around the palace." Hulk then asks the minister if he could see the Maestro's throne room, but says, "Before we go, I have to get something I left outside." Back in Hercules' bedroom, Hercules tells Anne, "Let us get better acquainted." And she responds saying, "I was thinking exactly the same thing," while taking off her bra. And right as the two of them are going to get it on, Anne turns into gas, revealing herself to be Vapor. She then tells Hercules, "Don't you remember the UFOs? It kept me out of the game for a while, but now I'm back. And this gas? It's arson, main ingredient of arsenic," as she makes her way through his nostrils and mouth. At which point, Hercules falls to his knees as his eyes start to bleed and he dies by his bed. Vapor then says, "Perfect, that was easier than I could have," but before she can finish her sentence, the Hulk kicks the doors down and freezes her with a gun he found laying around at Alchemax. Hulk then says, "There we go, that's better. A vast improvement. But it still needs something," as he punches her, shattering her into 1,000 pieces. He then tells the Maestro's guards to take all these pieces and bury them individually all over the kingdom, out in the plains. Make sure they can never reintegrate. He then walks over to Hercules saying, "Sorry, didn't really have a choice. Nobody beats the Hulk. Nobody." He then walks out while saying, "Get him out of here." And this, my friends, brings us to the 5th and final issue of the miniseries. Issue 5 opens up with the Hulk bringing Hercules' body out to his funeral, with him saying to himself, "Well, that was easy. Vapor was never one for murder, but fortunately I was able to appeal to her lesser nature." Now she's in shattered pieces throughout dystopia. Hercules is dead, people are in mourning, and all I have to do is kick back and let matters take their logical course. While Hercules' body is being cremated in the center of dystopia, which looks more like him being burnt to the stake, but whatever, Hulk shouts to the people of dystopia, "The Maestro will live on in all of our memories. That much is certain. He developed dystopia, gave you all somewhere to live and a way in which to survive. In this day and age, that contribution cannot be underestimated. But now it's time to move on, and I shall lead you on that path, and I shall help you march forward." And one of the people say, "Why you? Who put you in charge? Why would the Maestro want you to run things? Maybe we should have, I don't know, an election or something." Elsewhere, Rick Jones is watching via a drone, and once the guy says we should have an election or something, Jones says sarcastically, "Yeah, that's gonna end well." Back in dystopia, Hulk responds to the man saying, "An election? Like the Maestro was elected?" Then someone in the crowd says, "It was a different time." Then Hulk responds, "So is this. But if you don't believe me, perhaps you'd like to take it up with my dogs of war. Here's some now. I'm sure they'll be happy to discuss it. Gentlemen, attack," as he sicks them on the people of dystopia. But moments after he sicks the dogs of war on the people, Decord shows up, blasting one of them with a gun Forge built and she stole from Rick Jones' trophy room. But not only that, we later find out this gun was built by Forge to specifically kill the Hulk. Decord then fires at the Hulk but misses, at which point he punches the ground so hard it breaks the ground beneath her. The Hulk then walks towards her, ready to kill her, as we hear someone yell the name Banner. And on the next page, we see Hercules is alive and on fire saying, "You did this to me." Hulk then looks at him in disbelief saying, "That's impossible. You can't be alive." But as Hercules walks towards him, he says, "Because that woman you brought to murder me, she did. But Hades is doing me a favor, allowing me to wreak vengeance on you," as he uppercuts the Hulk. Hercules then starts beating the crap out of the Hulk like he did last issue, and would have even killed the Hulk, even saying, "Now die before the Prince of Power." But as he's about to deliver a death blow to the Hulk, we see Hercules get blasted with Forge's gun, killing him again. Then on the next page, the Hulk says, "Huh?" as Hercules' body disintegrates. We then see that it was the minister who picked up Forge's gun and shot Hercules saying, "I never liked him anyway." He then bows down before the Hulk saying, "Here you are, sir," handing him the gun. With Hercules defeated once and for all, now wielding Forge's gun, which is strong enough to kill beings like the Hulk and Hercules, the Hulk screams, "Anybody else have anything they want to add?" "Yeah. Didn't think so." He then yells, "Jones, you're next," as he thinks Jones sent Decord to kill him with this gun in the first place. But when Hulk arrives at Rick Jones' hideout, he sees that Rick has already packed up everything and left. But as the Hulk looks around, Rick Jones turns on a monitor and webcam he left there to talk to the Hulk, saying, "Hey Bruce, how's it hanging? Got Forge's gun, huh?" Hulk says, "Afraid to face me, Jones?" He answers saying, "Well, duh, you've got heavy armament and you're nuts. Any sane person would be afraid to face you." Jones goes on to tell him that he thinks he's crazy and that he's turned into the abusive SOB who destroyed his son and turned him into the shell of a man he became, aka Bruce Banner became his father, Brian Banner. At this point, Hulk says, "Shut up," and then Jones just says, "Goodbye, Bruce," before detonating his old hideout. This causes such a big explosion that it blows a hole in the ground above. And as the Hulk is climbing out, the minister asks, "What happened?" And he tells him, "I had a conversation with an old friend." The minister then says, He tried to destroy you? Hulk answers saying, you'd be amazed how often that occurs. Hulk then asks, is everyone up here okay? And the minister says, shaken up, but otherwise intact. Shall we go to your castle banner, or do you prefer Hulk? The Hulk then looks at him and says, actually, I think I've outgrown both names. Call me Maestro, as we see the Hulk sit down on his new throne, becoming the Maestro. After this, we get the third and final part of the backup story, Relics, where we see an old Rick Jones looking at all the past heroes' memorabilia that he's collected, like Captain America's shield and Captain Marvel's bracelets. Rick just sits there sad that his wife and all of his old friends and heroes are dead as the ghosts of them surround him. His granddaughter then says, hey Gramps, he'll be here soon. We need to pack this stuff up and go. Who are you just talking to? And Jones replies, no one, not for a long time, as the comic ends. And just like that, we have the end of the Maestro miniseries and the origin of how the Hulk became the Maestro. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this story and origin for Maestro Hulk. It was an extremely fun read, and it's actually one of my favorite Hulk stories and reads in recent years. I enjoyed it that much. Obviously, the Immortal Hulk stuff is up there, but that should go without saying. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised with this miniseries. As I've said before, the first issue had me a little worried, but after that, I was all in. Meaning, I'm super glad that Peter David is continuing this story with a brand new title called Maestro War and Pax, which drops on January 20. So you can bet we're gonna start covering that title as well, because Peter David has been doing an amazing job with Maestro, so why wouldn't we? But with all that said, what did you guys think of this Maestro miniseries? Did you love it, hate it, and do you want to read Peter David's brand new Maestro miniseries, War and Pax? Let us know all of that in the comment section down below. And just like that, my comic comrades, that's gonna bring another episode of Variant to a close. But if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, subscribe, like, and comment. It always helps us out. But I will see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.